Hello and welcome. Welcome to our mysteries, exploring the mysteries. And I'm here with the beautiful SunPsychic Jean. Hello,
Hi,
Jean.
everybody. Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me.
And of course, if you don't know me, I'm Ginger Faye. So every once in a while, Jean and I like to get together and do some mysteries. And we are using our mediumship, psychic, and tarot to investigate. Just we've done uh, Egyptian mysteries. We've done Celtic mysteries. Today we're doing Stonehenge. So I just hope everybody enjoys this show. It was fun getting prepared for it. And as everybody knows, Stonehenge, right? And we all know there's just mysteries and questions. And I'm hoping today, Jean and I are hoping that we can, use our gifts and delve into some of these mysteries, and for entertainment purposes only, um, add a little illumination to some of these questions we have. So,
Well, I
yeah.
absolutely love your background,
Oh, thank
Ginger, and I
you.
want to thank you in advance for doing all of the research and putting this show together. It
Yeah.
is so much fun doing investigative shows with you. You never know what we're going to get, and we ask the big questions. And Ginger has been working on this for quite some time. Our most recent show was the Celtic and the Druids. Is that right?
Yes, it was. It was. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but still, our favorite show is always going to be. Oh my gosh, forgot her name already.
Oh, Nefertiti.
Nefertiti. um,
I
I
was
don't know if we could
transported.
ever top that. Yeah, I don't know if we could ever top that one. But hopefully, Stonehenge, with all its magical mystery, give her a good run for her money. Okay, so let's say hello before I start giving a little spiel. We have Christine Thomas here. Hello, welcome. We have Butterfly Readings. Linda, how are you? We have Christine, Native Love. Thank you for coming in. Tiger Dragon, hello, how are you doing today? It's a hot day here in South Carolina. Hope everybody's having a beautiful spring day. We have Brolic here, welcome. And Liz in awe, hello. Hi, Liz, how are you doing? Let's see if I can see. That's okay. And Kiba's here. Hi, Kiba. How are you? Yeah. So, welcome to this. Hope to be um, a magical day. Oh, we got some people still popping in. We have Fox with a book. I love that. I love all the creative call names for everybody. It's fascinating. So,
It
um,
is fun. You
yeah.
guys
So,
make it
what?
so much fun for us. We have to call out
Mhm.
your name anyway. You might as well make it funny for us to say. Sometimes I say, "Hey, I see you, Christine. I see you, Linda." And then there's somebody called Peekaboo, and I said, "I see Peekaboo. I see you."
Oh my gosh, that is so much fun. So we're going to talk a little bit of the history of Stonehenge, and then a little bit of the mystery about it, and then we're going to just kind of pick and choose some questions, and also chatters, if you have specific questions as I'm reading along. Uh, the little synopsis I have. And so questions are welcome about Stonehenge. We're not doing readings today. This is all about Stonehenge and the magical, the mystery, the lore involved in it. And there was so much to this. I didn't have time to write everything down or take notes of everything, but some of it is very much spirit led. When we start talking about the more spiritual aspects. So, Jean will be using her beautiful psychic mediumship abilities today. And I will be using mine as well, but with the aid of the most appropriate thing, the Druidcraft Tarot. So I will be using these cards today to help guide me. And I think it's a perfect pairing. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So I thought I'd give a moment for more people to pop in before we start. I'm going to take a sip. And as I move along, I do have some other pictures of Stonehenge I'd like to share.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so for some reason my slideshow thing wasn't working, but I think I found a way to get them up. So let me get chat on my phone because it'll be easier to watch chat there as I um, move along. So I just want to again thank everybody for showing today. This is going to be so much fun. And Jean is simulcasting with me. And for those of you who are on my channel and are not subscribed to Jean, please do so. Her information is in the my info on my page, but I'll put it up in a little bit. And then, of course, if you're on Jean's channel, welcome, welcome. And of course, I wouldn't mind a sub or two. Um, Vicky, it's been a while. How are you doing? Uh, yeah.
Yes.
So,
And Ginger, you're
go ahead.
you're so humble. Please do make sure everybody, if you haven't already subscribed, go over, subscribe to Ginger Faye. She's phenomenal. We've been working together for quite a long time. She has many faceted abilities, and really, she astounds me. She really connects to her spirit guides and her intuition like nobody else does. It's
Oh my
amazing.
God.
She brings something new to the table every time we're together, and you will not be disappointed. So please do go on over and show her some love.
Oh my gosh, you're too sweet. Thank you.
Oh, it's true. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I learn when I'm together with you for sure.
Oh, awesome. So yeah, so I put her link in chat. And pretty much after a couple years, we're all subscribed to each other's channels. Anyway, so we have Sarah who just popped in. Hi, Sarah, anew. Welcome. This is going to be so much fun. Um, so yeah, I think it's a good time to get started. Let me bring up my little thing here. See if I can do this. I want to do wait, this. There we go. All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about Stonehenge and this beautiful monolith is in England. And I meant to um, uh, message Richie. He has been to Stonehenge. So has anybody in chat been to Stonehenge? That would be the most wonderful thing. I do know that they don't allow people to touch the stones anymore, so it's pretty well guarded now. But they do have private tours. But I hear even in the private tour, you are not allowed to touch the stones. So, hello, shining love, light, and truth. Hi, Christine Thomas. I said that. All right, let's get going. I'm so excited. I'm just, babbling here. So, yeah, so Stonehenge. This is one of many pictures that people bring up. Let's see if this will help. Here's another picture, and I think this is on our thumbnail. We have an aerial view, and I'm going to pause there as I read a little bit. So, it is the one of the mysteries is, you know, who built it? Why is it here? So Stonehenge is located in on the windswept plains of southern England, and its towering stones rise out of the earth like ancient sentinels. And their purpose and identities of the purpose and the identities of the builders are hidden in the mists of time. Those weren't my words, but I love them. So yeah, it says while Stonehenge is widely recognized as one of the most iconic monuments of prehistoric Britain, it remains the origins remain shrouded in uncertainty, leaving us in wonder who were the people behind its creation and what drove them to construct such an enigmatic structure. It's believed that Stonehenge was constructed in multiple stages spanning through a time through 3000 BC to 15 BC. And some have proposed that the construction of Stonehenge actually predates the Neolithic altogether, which is the period where we feel 3000 to 1500 BC is considered a Neolithic stage. So this says a series of earthworks and wooden posts mark the earliest phase of the site, which forms a ring that is believed to be in alignment with astrological events. So, yeah, so just as I'm gonna read a little bit more about this, and I think we'll stop at certain parts of the story and do our little investigating. And again, as I read this story, if anybody has any questions about Stonehenge, we would love to read on that. So we're going to start with who were these people, and how did they know to build this structure, and how did they build it? Each of the stones weigh like I think it was 25 tons each. So it's fascinating, and it's not stones from their area. So we'll delve into that just a little bit more. So they let me just read this real quick. Um, the mainstream archaeologists suggest that the Stonehenge's earliest layers were likely constructed by a society of skilled Neolithic farmers. So this is just one of the theories. These they feel like they finally settled in this area after centuries, it says, of wandering as hunter and gatherers. So they're wondering if the purpose of the structure was to track the movement of the stars and the sun and the moon, the cycles, and the changing of the seasons for their agricultural calendar. So yeah, so I think this would be a great time to pause and ask. Um,
Well, I have a
yeah,
couple of questions. Who built
yeah.
it?
Hmm.
And where did they get their instructions? And were they inspired or sort of led? And
Yeah.
like, did ETs or a being come to them and instruct them, or did they
Mhm.
sort of have a spontaneous awareness? Like, who built it and why, and how did they get that idea? And you did
Yeah.
say that it started. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm yelling. You did say that it started with a wooden structure, and then they replaced it with stone.
I that's the image I'm getting, because obviously they're stone and there's no wood in. It could possibly be that there was a wooden structure at one point surrounded by these stones, and then through time. But
Oh,
yeah, yeah. So yeah, so my first question was going to be, um, who built it. So were they the farmers, or were they uh, we'll call them ancient beings. So I think that's a good point
And
to start.
and we're talking about the stone part. This
Right.
this
This.
yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah. So.
So
These
as
are.
you're doing that, well, I as you were reading, I did get some more hits.
Oh, perfect.
Um, and I wrote down that they, whoever built it, wanted to make sure that things were changing because they felt as though things were changing and they needed to measure this. And they wanted to make sure that things were staying the same. Like they wanted and and it was both their curiosity and their security. Like they wanted to make sure that what they sensed was changing was a rhythmic pattern. And they also wanted to make sure that what they sensed was changing was a rhythmic pattern. And what I mean by that is that they were like, I don't know. Are we aware? Is something coming around? Is there any rhyme or reason to this? And then once they found out that it was a rhythmic pattern, it put them at ease and allowed them to be secure. But then they continued to follow this research and this measuring in order to sustain that security. In the beginning, it was a curiosity. Are things changing and can we measure it and what's going on? And then it became their security. Let's measure this. Let's find out what's going on and make sure that we're able to sustain this. It's almost like they had to, it wasn't like being in control of it, but they gave them reassurance. And I think that a lot with the solar uh, eclipses, that is very jarring if you don't know what's going on, right? I mean, we've all seen movies where that occurred. And but it was an ability for them to either predict and uh, sort of map the cycle, and for them to be secure that they could predict and could map the cycle. Like the first one was, oh, let's see if this happens. Let's see. It was almost like a curiosity. It was almost like they were led out from what's happening, like to answer and then once they found out what's happening, they were compelled to continue measuring it because they did sense. I mean, there are nuances, and in fact, that's what they tell us that's going on right now. Is that the Earth? I am not an astrologer. I know nothing. Please forgive me. But what I understand is that the Earth has its um, is on its axis and spins, right? In one day, and then it spins around the sun in 1 year. But there is within that orbit of the sun, there is a variance depending on how the axis is. It either spins around the sun here or it spins around the sun here. So there is a little, and they're telling us we're at this high end. That's why we're having a lot of extreme weather or extreme energies and things like all. And I think that they were just so compelled to measure this, that it was for their livelihood and it was for their entertainment too, just like us.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
um so I wrote that it was for their curiosity and security, and they were just called to. But and I'm not answering the question that of who built it and how, that but that's just what I was getting, and I wanted to share that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've started some things. Nathan, hi Nathan. So frequency, vibration, and energy, how it all connects with Stonehenge. We feel it's very much connects with the seasons and cycles. SunPsychic Jean is stating, "I'm happy to hear y'all discuss this." So wonderful. And then Shining Love and Light says, I live in the ley lines here. It's crazy. I used to have to have so much traffic here. It was insane. Shut that down last summer was too much. Okay. The traffic. Okay. Yeah, I can imagine the traffic going by that, and the ley lines. I didn't even get that far. Uh, I should have been working on this a whole week in advance.
Part two, part two. That's
Right,
part
right.
two.
Because the ley lines are just a whole nother shift of energies and stuff. So, but that might even just come through. So, um, Will Worthington is an Englishman, so he's not shy. No modesty here. So about who these people were. So here's one of the cards I put here. So the people, and when I look at my card, there's a sickle in the background. There's wheat growing. So I think this card is perfect for of who. So I do feel that it was the common folk, whether farmers or who have you. They're the ones that had the idea, and I think it was a place where, let me see, uh, I think it's a place. It was almost like in the initial intentions. I think it was a place maybe meant for a gathering of, to celebrate. Just to celebrate their harvest and stuff, almost maybe what maybe became a church-like setting. Um, just a what's the words I'm looking for? Um, just the gathering of the community and the brotherhoodship. I actually heard the word brethren, so brotherhoodship. It was a place for them to gather and start speaking about their plans of the community, because they had been wandering for centuries, gatherer hunters, and they finally found a place that they felt that they could call home. And so as I was saying, I think it started out as a wooden structure. So therein lies the mystery coming later on. And then the second card I pulled, let me see, I'll show. It's the Two of Swords. But I was too busy listening to Jean. I didn't delve
I'm
into my
sorry.
cards. No, 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 that's not you. That's me. So okay, so Two of Swords is about two of the mind, decision making. This is showing two paths, and I think yes. Okay, so I think okay. There are. Let me see if I can put this into English for myself. Two paths. I think there were two different communities, and this is where these communities, and maybe more than two, but there was two paths to Stonehenge where they can all commune and talk talk out their thoughts and their plans for their future. And I pulled a couple cards for purpose, and interesting enough, I got Seven of Wands. So it was, I think, if I'm not wrong, an elevated place. So it could also have been a place where they can keep watch of their surrounding lands, because you never know, the marauders, I don't know if they called them back then. It could have been a place of like the fort where they can, during certain times of the year, perhaps. Survey the lands, not necessarily be defensive. Maybe they just needed to survey the land and anyone coming their way. And then I got the Queen of Pentacles, and so yeah, a place of seated power. So I think that at first it could have been for, and I don't want to say religious purposes, because I'm not sure if it started out that way. Um, but it was definitely, because Queen of Pentacles is all about earth, earth magic, earth, um, uh, the respect of Mother Earth, the abundance that Mother Earth offers. So it's a place of where they probably hang on. Without being too much of a ceremonial place, honoring Mother Earth and what she and the harvests and yeah. So I'm gonna stop there. Uh, it was just a gathering place. Yeah. So, all right. So let me read on a little bit. Let me find my little handy dandy reader honor thing. Okay, this doesn't multitask like I want to.
Well, um, I I concur, if I can comment on yours,
Yeah.
that it's a community gathering and a ritual for the earth, and they did have these practices and these understandings, and it was not a religion, it was a respect. It was about living with the earth and listening to the earth, and it's their innate um, abilities that brought them to this place. But and however, I do feel like they felt like this place on this spot was special. And I feel as though there may have been something else that happened there, that they
Mhm.
decided to build things there, or that they
Mhm.
were instructed to build things there. I think that the place, and this gets into the ley lines, which we don't know anything about, I don't know anything about, but I feel like that place is much more impactful or important of a component than
Right.
like the actual location. Not only that it lines up with the sun, but I'm sure that if you had
Mhm.
it 50 meters to the left or 50 meters to the right, you'd still be able to line it up with the sun. But there's something that occurred there that they wanted to like sort of like memorialize. And
Right.
mhm.
Well, yeah, and also to add to this queen here, uh, I feel that I feel that most every tribe in the world has had a high vibrational healer, uh, a seer or something, and I feel that when they happened upon this land, it was like the seer is like, whoa, wait a minute, there's something. I'm feeling some vibrational energy here. Now, I think she could only say this to a small group of people who could later translate it for the common folk so it doesn't sound like she's, a witch or something. But just made it make sense that this is the spot we need to build this on. Yeah. So, yeah. Um, this, you know what? This this is something I had heard. Was this Stonehenge a place of burial? I had heard this before, and let's read on that. I think because I am getting in my mind I'm getting two places mixed up because there are Stonehenge type places all around the world, and there is one that was made of wood, and I think they did find people buried around the perimeter. Um, So I don't know if I'm mixing the two or this was true. So, so you want to read on that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry. I think that I'm I'm trying to connect, but as I do, I'm getting a hit that the people who thought themselves important wanted the prestige of being there because this place was a prestigious place, and they felt that they in order to honor them, as the egoic part of them wanted to be, that's their resting place. But I think that I don't think it was originally built to be a burial place, but I think that people were emboldened and egoic or self absorbed enough to think that they were measured up and had deserved a place there, because so many people sort of gathered and worshiped and experienced, and not worshiped, but honored the place, and that they thought that if they were buried there, then people would be honoring them, but that's not how it worked out. That's kind of what I'm getting. How about you, Miss Miss
Well,
Ginger?
I'm laughing because the cards are kind of confirming that. So I have here uh, someone sitting on a stone, being like, I'm the authority around here. And so when you were saying these people of higher power, thinking this is where I want to be, and then I got the Five of Swords, which is like vying for position. So those are cards I pulled as you were talking there. Um, so, but this card here does speak of a place of healing. So whether they buried people there or not, they oh, this is weird. I had this okay. I had this image. The soil is, they feel, was sacred, and it's like they briefly. This is bizarre, but this is just what came to my mind, that they took people who needed healing, and it's like they briefly buried them in the soil, and I'm praying they kept their head above the land, for air. But I feel that they used the soil. They felt it was sacred and healing. So whether they actually buried their dead or not, or used their soil for healing, that could be just metaphorical, that piece of land is healing. So that was just a bizarre image I just got of there. Um, then I got Four of Cups, which, Four of Cups is kind of, I don't know. Um, I'm gonna denounce that card. So let's move on. That was just a weird thing.
So I see that Lindsay said they they were said to use labor and mechanical engineering to move the stones. Is there anything more detailed about how they got the stones there? We're getting into that next, and what
Yeah,
technology was there. And then Night
definitely.
Moon says, I recall, maybe wrong, they found cremains there, which was first, the structure or the cremains, or is it unrelated? Like somebody could have just, been on their last leg and leaned up against there, and that was their last
Yeah,
breath.
yeah.
Which came first. And
Interesting.
I think that there was a little bit more intentional burial around there, but from what Ginger was saying. Oh, and
Uh-huh.
Leona, hi Leona, says this is bizarre. I've needed some answers because they found many cremated remains. I believe over time people spread them there. Oh, that's another
Yeah,
possibility. Hmm.
yeah. So wonderful. I love this interaction. Let's see. All right. Okay. So, okay, let me read a little further, because yes, we are going to be coming upon things like that. So let me put up another picture here. Um, I'm gonna put this beautiful picture up if it'll allow us. Okay. Um, yeah, because excuse me, it happens to be, um, the alignment of the stones do coincide with the solstices. The sun directly rising over the heel stone on the summer solstice and setting in alignment with the central axis of the site on winter solstice. This strongly suggests that Stonehenge was a site of astronomical importance of this sacred space. Okay, so we want to know if this is the case, well, going back to the farmer thing, it was important to know the timing of when to plant, when to harvest. So, yeah, this is interesting. How about we ask, how did they know, or was it on purpose that the structure was meant to be in alignment with the solstices? You want to read on that?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know what Agarian means. Is that like a ET race or an ET species? And 12 stones, 12 signs astrologically, they say. However, wasn't the 13 moon calendar first at this time? Like we didn't move over to the 12-month calendar for quite some
Right.
time. It was
Yeah.
much later in history. So it should
Yeah.
have been
Were
13.
you
There's
trying to say
13
Gregorian, maybe?
Agar. I
Or
don't know it.
maybe she was trying to say Gregorian calendar. Hmm.
Oh, agriculture, farming.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ag,
Sorry.
agar,
We're all learning
aggregate,
together.
agrian.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Thanks.
hang on. Nathan says a real dirt or mud bath of sorts, spiritually speaking. How does the Stonehenge place signify and power of power? Oh gosh, can you read that for me? Just like
How
I
does
need
the
my new glasses.
Stonehenge place of significance and power of healing, how does it relate to Camelot Return of Magic overall?
Oh,
Well,
that might be.
that's a good question.
Let's start
Um,
that question.
Because I said the place, the location, there was something that happened there. I said if it was 50 meters to the left or 50 meters to the right, you would still line up with the sun, but it would be different. So I think that something happened on that place, and or maybe there was a sighting or a landing or something,
Mhm,
and
mhm,
they were instructed to. I don't know. Maybe they had dowsing rods and they found this to be a ley line that was so very strong and powerful that they decided to build here. Um,
mhm. Okay,
but
I forgot my question.
um, can we go back to what was your question, Ginger? Can you repeat your
That's
question?
what I'm
What
saying. I
what we
forgot
need
my
to?
question. Okay. Oh, people are
You said
really
was it a
input.
calendar
Hang on.
or
Uh, okay. Gra- Agrarian primarily describes anything related to land, culture, cultivation, and rural matters. Um, okay. Thank you. Okay. So let me just, where was I? Oh, was, okay. The purpose, were they purposeful in aligning this structure with the solstices? And anybody, if you have cards that you want to uh, pull for these questions, you're more than welcome to. Okay.
I I think that you're right. I think that there was some sort of a wooden structure that uh, it wasn't big enough, it wasn't strong enough, and they were like, uh, "We need more power," like we need, and they just couldn't get it grand enough, so they had. But I do feel that there was some sort of an assistance, either with technology, and somebody wrote it a couple of comments back that
Mhm.
they were assisted in the technology in order to build it. And I think that, that, like I said, something happened on this land. And I think that the technology, I think it may have been like a way to remember or a gift to them. And they're like, well, how do we know when it's summer? Like they said, oh, these people, these spaceship comes down and says, "People of the Earth, you're going to be, having years and months and cycles, and we're gonna let you know when it's time." And they're like, "Well, how do we know after you're gone when it's time? We will leave you a map." And they left that map. I mean, this
Yeah.
is like a real. I This is what I think. And then they're gone. And then this place was like so sacred because not only of the interaction, but the gift. And I do feel as though it was like a combined effort. I think that the people of the earth were trying and were striving, and then the assistance came. How about you, Ginger? What did you get on
Yeah.
that?
Well, similar, because the first thought that came to my mind was the wooden structures, and I felt like they 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 kind of knew via the sun. So it may have started off as like a sundial, and then when as time passed, they I think that they purposely realigned where they had placed their wooden stakes or what have you,
Got the
their
same
pillars.
thing. It was in the wrong spot. You're right. That's what I
Right.
just got.
I feel
Hmm.
like they had to adjust because they thought there's a method to our madness. This is going to be more powerful of a tool than we've originally imagined. And I don't even really need to pull my cards on that, but I will. Princess of Wands. So that's what made me think of these stakes. They put stakes out, um, and I think it's kind of started out as a sundial, and then they realized, they learned more about the solstice timing. And again, when they it's like when they figured out their map, that's when they decided we need to make this permanent, a solid structure, and that's when they, yeah, turned to stone. The ELO song, "Turn to Stone." Um, right, the wooden ones could have been a type of blueprint. Perfect. Thank you, Christine. And then, hello to everyone who's coming in. Yes, we are today, just kind of delving into some mysteries and questions of Stonehenge. Um, okay, so I also pulled the Lady. So this is like the Empress. So, birthing. This was like a birthplace. Um, of, all the mysteries. And, hang on one second here. Um, they just knew that this was a bountiful place, and this is where they wanted to call home. Um, Sorry, there was a video. So I feel like they were intuitively led by a woman. And then I heard in my mind, because there was that man on the throne-ish kind of thing, and there was a quote from the mummy, "They are led by a woman. What does a woman know?" Well, they soon found out that woman knew a lot, intuitively and instinctively, about the harvesting and the times a year of when to plant and when to harvest. So I feel like there are stages in their intentions of this project, so to speak. So Leona is pulling a card. Okay. Um, Everything happened for a reason. I sent it to my daughter. Oh wait. Oh, that's the cool. The card she pulled today for her daughter. Perfect. Okay, so let me move on to my story. So, um, they said, what was it in the knowledge of astronomy that set these builders apart? And what that was talking about was there's structures like this all around the world. And what makes Stonehenge so unique? And was it because when they finally did the stone structure, um, what was did astronomy play a hand in that? Okay, so here's where we go. Or did they possess some other form of knowledge, perhaps passed down from a distant and even more an ancient civilization, where they uh, or were they a part of a lost and more advanced society um, that had knowledge far beyond the typical times? So. Hang on. Oh, yeah. Could Stonehenge be a remnant of an ancient civilization, which is something I wanted to pull on, whose people understood not only the cosmos, but the secrets of the earth itself, and whose names have become lost in history? So, you know, they tend to wonder about places like Lemuria, Atlantis, lost ancient civilization. Was there, uh, um, that would be something to question. Was there a lost ancient civilization that assisted? You know, was she channeling? Was somebody channeling this? So yeah. So let's see.
I think it's highly possible. I think that we've had, I mean, look at the aqueducts in Greece. I mean, the
Mhm.
ancient civilizations had so much more advanced knowledge, and or they had hybrids living amongst them, and as a normal everyday occurrence. And I feel as though like I'm thinking of the Greek gods and goddesses and hybrids that were teaching the people and the leaders, and helping them to set these things up. And I think that is, um, it's very likely, and I'm going to check with my pendulum. um, was this an advanced ancient civilization that was there to help to create? Um, was this an ancient civilization that is no longer no? Was it, and I'm not well. I'm not quite getting it. I'm getting a little yes, but not a big yes. Is this Was this discovered? Like they don't know where it came from. Was this? Oh, okay, was this 100% uh, off planet beings building this? No. Was this a collaboration of hybrids and um, a regular civilization? Yeah. So, and I'm getting more of a yes on that. Still nothing very definitive. Was this an advanced ancient civilization? And it's going over to a no. So, something about me saying advanced. What was this, a civilization that had access to more technology? Was this a civilization that had access to more technology? And this is what they're saying yes. And my pendulum is quite, look at that. That is saying yes, because it's quite picky. When I say advanced, it's really not, I'm not being definitive enough. So that's what I got. How about you, Ginger?
Oh my gosh. So these cards. Okay. So okay. All right, let me start with this one. The Ace of Swords. So that is gift of knowledge, the knowledge that came from who knows, the land, the ethereal. There's a lot of fluid energy, so it's just the gift of knowledge. But what surprised me is I got this card, which was, not necessarily an otherworldly being, but we're talking about ancient civilization here. And it's funny that I see these two here. The Lover's card came out here, and you talked about hybrid energy. And so it made me think of when the Nephilim came, the angels came down and they were expressly told not to mate with humans. And they did anyways. That formed another race. Well, that's another story to come down. But wow. Okay, so in this image is a deer off in the background, and that made me think of. It's almost like this. The I still feel like, and I'm going to keep this one out here. The lady, um, that her knowledge came from the land, which could be the conduit, so to speak, for this ancient civilization to communicate through, so it doesn't scare everybody. But it's very possible she herself was an old soul, or a you never know. This is for entertainment purposes only. Um, she may have been somehow connected through the ancestral line with this um, ancient civilization, and I just feel strongly a woman was highly involved in the placement of these stones, and she was the one gifted with the knowledge. I'm going to place these in different places here. Um, Very interesting. Um, yeah. So, was it uh, aliens? I don't know. All right. Let me move on a little bit. Or do you have something
Well,
to say?
um, the sheer impossibility of moving all of those stones in that formation with the cap on it, that what it used to go all the way around, it used to be built up more,
Yeah.
it used to have more
Right.
to it, in such a precise mathematical exact placement, um, and then with the ability, the physical ability of humanity, it's a mystery because it's an impossibility.
Yeah.
It's physically it's an impossibility. However, did they have the technology that would assist them, or did they have assistance from an outside source with that technology? So,
One thing
and
comes to mind is the Nephilim. Uh, when they mated with humans, it created giants. So, were these giants, if they existed, in assistance with building this? So, um,
but they would have to get all those stones in that exact place, all at
right,
one place in one time, in
right.
order for the sun to come up. So they would
Mhm.
have to hold the sun there so they could move all the stones in. But or could they? And and how would they, I mean, and maybe that's where those stakes were to mark it. But even if you put the stakes in, it couldn't be, I mean, this the exact precise measurement of the placement, of the size of the entire you know structure is just beyond human capability.
Mm. Hi, Marilla. It was just found out that the ultrastone was from North Scotland, not Wales. Um, so these I actually have a piece of they're said to be bluestone, which I think has selenite in it. What? Hang on. Christine says that Stonehenge is silcrete, which is very small pieces of quartz held tightly together. Um, and of course, quartz conducts. So it was also rumored, or a theory, I should say, that how did they get these stones here? Because it didn't come from the local area. Um, were there vehicles that that helped them, or the rolling of the stones. They've done documentaries of actually, putting the logs. But still, that's what a feat. Excuse me. And some of them believe that how they got them, like the caps, they believed in sound waves, the power of the vibrations of, that's very fascinating, very fascinating. um let's see if I got everybody's question here.
Yeah, I don't think it
um,
was brute force because of the, you know, mathematical precision of, the stars and the earth and the structure.
Christine said, could terrestrials have used vibrational energy to construct, and the druids used it for different purposes? So, are you asking, did the extraterrestrials have one use in mind and the druids a different? Vibrational energy to
I
construct
did
it.
I
Okay.
did feel like there was two different there was somebody who created it and then they vanished from the earth, and then there was somebody else who came upon it and discovered it. And then that may be the written history that we are aware of. Like you said, is
Mhm.
there an ancient lost civilization that is no longer here, like Lemuria or Atlantis or some sort of a, and that's what we were asking the last question.
Mhm. They were said to use labor and mechanical engineering to move the stones. Is there any more detailed about how they got the stones there? What technology was there? Excuse me. So, I guess we can kind of try to read on that. That's a kind of, I don't know if we, I don't know
Yep.
how
And
was it made? We just need
it,
to know.
we have another vote on giants, but were the giants that precise? I mean, the exact measurement and the precision in the measurement for it to be at that. Yeah, giants could move stones, but could they place them in the precise spot where the sun sets and rises? You would have to hold the sun there in order for the giants to get the rest of the stones around the circle. You
Well,
can't,
I
it
think,
moves. And they
yeah.
took, did they do one stone every solstice? I don't know. But the precision is where it's
Uh
not
huh.
whether or not the hefty stones, who could have moved them. And yeah, all of these theories, the levitation, the energy, the giants, the, different pulley, technology could move the stones, but how could they be so precise and
Hmm.
exact
Hmm.
and continuously and be there for such a long period of time,
Hmm.
stand the test of time and precision? I mean, and this is why I feel as though it, and somebody else said earlier that it's akin to crop circles. Not exactly, but it's related. Like that type of precision, that type of exact, and the signal or the symbology of that structure and of that shape and the, um, you know how the sun reflects around all of those stones is reflects is related back to the precision of the, what did I just call them? The land things. Oh shoot. Crop circles.
Oh,
It's
crop
it's really
circles.
the precision is related to the crop circles, and
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
interaction with the ETs is related to the crop circles. It's not exact because this is a little different, but it's still that type of an intervention. I
It's
think
like a
that's,
same
yeah.
different scenario. Yeah. Well, I feel like that's where the wise one, we'll call it her, where it may have started out, that the wooden structure, and the giants and the little people coexisted according to lore. Um, so uh, I don't know. Can you possibly? We'll try to meditate a little bit on that. How were they placed? You know. So um, how Who and how were they placed?
I just got the Empress. So you're
Yeah.
right. From a faraway land. It was a gift for joy. I got the Empress. This is the energy. It's a divine feminine energy. And it came from a faraway land. And it was a gift for us to succeed and prosper. And that's as far as I got.
Right.
Mhm.
I'll pull out my little pendulum here. It's interesting because I got this knight here who traveled. So with the faraway land kind of thing with the gift here. Hang on.
Hmm. Okay. Thanks, Joji.
So I was just playing that. Just playing because this is for entertainment purposes only. Did the giants help construct? And it wouldn't give me a clear answer on that at all. It just kept spinning and spinning. It wouldn't settle. Then I asked with the assistance of otherworldly beings, and it wasn't a full on yes, but it was like with the assistance of. Um, so it's just interesting.
I also received the word gateway. So I think it was a connection to the stars and to the beings.
Mm. My Wi-Fi turned off when you mentioned the little people and giants together. Um, all right, let me see what else did I put here. Um, Other theories delve into the possibilities of extraterrestrial influence, while this idea remains highly speculative. Um, let's see. So, how could a society with no advanced tools or machinery have created a massive structure with such accuracy, just as Jean was saying? Some theorists suggest that the builders may have had help from beings outside our world, beings who imparted their knowledge of engineering and astronomy to the people of Great Britain. So, to me, that's the a little bit of a nod to just an ancient civilization for me, anyways. Let's see. And the famous stones, the upright sarcens made of blue stones, weigh up to 25 tons each. And it was widely believed that they were transported from the Marlborough Downs, which were about 20 miles away. But how were these immense stones moved? the physical challenge of transporting these massive stones to Stonehenge. Um, some archaeologists believe the stones were moved using a system of sledges and rolling locks, but the logistics of this feat are still a subject of debate. Did the builders possess an unknown knowledge of engineering that allowed them to move these colossal stones? Some theorists speculated that the stones were moved by sound waves and vibrations. Um, just for fun, do we want to read on that? Is it possible that they were moved by sound waves and vibration?
Hmm. I think, yeah, but who is directing the sound waves and the vibration?
I
From,
saw, I
from,
saw Merlin.
yeah. Oh, really?
I
Did
did.
you? You
Um,
just got a hit on Merlin? Is that what you said?
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And now I'm
He
getting,
reincarnates.
oh my gosh, I'm getting tingles everywhere now, not just my arm.
Trust your hits
Ooh,
there, Ginge. That was a good hit.
magic.
And they say that he was a liaison to the off planet beings. I think he was a gift to us here. And they're like, those humans, they're never going to make it on their own. We got to send one of our own down there to help them out.
Oh my gosh. Or was it manual labor? Oh my god, look at this image I got.
Oh,
I am telling you, the lady, had something to do. She's scrying a wheel into the ground, and that's how it all started. I feel like it started that small, just like I said, a sundial, and then they needed something more significant, and I think they wanted to have a place of honoring the seasons and the solstices. Um, when I asked about the vibrational energy, interesting enough, I got the Princess of Swords. So let me think. Let me do this and think upon that real quick.
is that an all female deck?
No, it's not. I've had the prince come out just as a woman. I've had couples. Yeah, there's been like three men, 4 men in here. But every time I ask this specifically on the communications part, the ideas, and it's always a woman coming up.
Yeah. They
Um,
probably, you know, it, it was a woman who was saying, no, the sun, the solstice is only twice a year. And all the villagers would say, no, that's not true. And then in order to prove her point, she had to build up something like this so nobody could dispute what she had to say. This is a woman proving her point.
Vicky got the chariot on that.
Oh, she said, you got the
So,
chariot. Hmm.
um, oh, oh,
Maybe she meant she did. Yeah.
hmm.
No, I like
But
that woman drawing the circle. I thought that was
yeah.
important too.
And I asked then, was it manual labor and not vibrational energy? I got the Four of Pentacles, which lends me to feel it was more on somehow labor was involved. It could have been a combination of I'm not sure if I don't know. I'm not sure if I believe the vibrational energy thing. But Merlin did show up, so there was some sort of magic involved. Uh, that could be the connection to that ancient civilization. It could be through uh, not telekinesis, the crown chakra. Um, because Princess of Swords here with the sword communication, and I saw Merlin before I pulled this card.
Mm.
I think it was, let's say, downloaded information on the blueprint of it. I still don't. For me, I'm still unsure about the 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 how it got. The lady resources. Okay, I just heard natural resources is how it was made, which obviously they're stones. So that card's just being obvious. All right, let me look at the comments real quick. Um, Leonis is like a drum circle. I hear sound there. Possibility. Now, they may not have been solely moved through the vibration, but I just saw that I've never done it. Um, that exercise where somebody lays on the floor and everybody puts their fingers under it, and so that assistance, not that they could fully raise them, um, but maybe it was that little bit of oh, here's a thought, that little bit of, because I keep hearing light as a feather, light as a feather. It's the intention, the manifesting. What am I trying to say? There have been times where I've had trouble moving something, and then I envision this object being light or lighter, and I'm able to actually move it. It's the vision of moving it. What am I trying to say there? What is
Your
that?
intention? Mind over matter?
Mind over matter. That's what I was looking for. Vicky keeps getting a woman. Okay, so all right. Humans chanting. Interesting.
Light as a feather, light as a feather.
Hi,
So you can
Kelly.
hear them chanting that. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right. What was this place? A sacred place of power. Um, was it more symbolic expression of a deep shared understanding of the cosmos designed to bridge the gap between heavens and earth? Oh, I like that. Okay. So, was this sacred place of power a more symbolic expression of a deep shared understanding of the cosmos, that designed and was designed to bridge the gap between heaven and earth? So that's an interesting thing to read on. Yes, telekinesis. Was this structure designed to bridge the gap? Oh my goodness. That's interesting.
I got perseverance and sustainable results or an investment. Um, And would that be bridging the gap or would that be honoring the bridge? Movement, progress, integration. Integration is a good word for bridging the gap. Um, Control, direction, departure. That would be bridging the gap. So I do feel as though there's some sort of a honoring, longevity, respect, and activity. And but I feel like it's an energetic activity. And I don't know if that answers bridging the gap or not. If
Mm-hmm.
it's That's what I got. What did you get?
Yeah. Okay. Let me do this. Okay. So the first card I got was the Fool card, and that leap of faith, that leap of faith into the unknown, um, the curiosity of it all, and then I got the Star. So to me, that would, because I was, is it bridging the gap and or gateway? And so me getting this Star card, which is hide her bits. We're talking about astronomy and stuff like that. So I feel that it is that leap into the cosmos, the understanding of the cosmos, the connection with the cosmos, learning about again, the placement of the stars, the sun, the moon, um, all for the benefit of their livelihood, so to speak. And I feel that the Druids were very much the people of honoring, much like the American Indians, I will say. They honored Mother Earth. They honored the gifts that Mother gave them in order for them to live. And I think it was built as a place of honor. And then because of my lady, um, the the connection of the you know that connection, the bridge of mediumship, and uh, the communication, and they feel it was from the star beings. But I also got the Hermit. There's my Merlin figure I saw. And he's all about going deep within, to find answers, to connect with the source creation, really, to be a beacon of light. So this place maybe was about um, their connection, their beacon of light, so to speak. I feel there's so many facets to this that not one answer is correct. So, Night Moon Glow says women were respected in the old ways. So, so out of all that we've talked about, discussed, and a little bit of illumination here, um, I feel like we hit on how they ended up in this place. I think, again, I'm going back to my little wheel here. That um, what started as a sundial, and I'm not saying that sundial was in that spot. I'm just they. You know how one idea leads to another. The idea of a sundial would lead to the idea of building a bigger structure when they made it out of wood. Um, a bigger sundial for the solstices and the planting and all that. Um, and then I think that idea just morphed into the honoring of all that is. And I think when they created that circle, the ley lines, the vibrational energies there made it a more of a magical place to be. That again, another morphing into a sacred spot. And who knows what they got downloads and the ideas. I think we hit on a lot of that.
So how long did it take for them to build it? Did they build it in 1 year? Did they build it
No,
over
no,
a
it
hundred
was
years?
from
Or
yeah. They feel it was they set foot on 3000 BC and it was finished in 1500 BC. So it took a long time, according to whomever got this information. I don't know who that was, but it just didn't happen in one night. It started out with wood and then morphed into, you reimagine your home. You build onto your home. We started out in huts made of twigs, and now we're living in stone, brick buildings. And so I think it was a morphing of the structure. What I still don't think we were able to figure out is how the heck was it put up. Um, Sarah says she looked up what Steiner believed about Stonehenge. Um, oh well, what was the what did they say? I mean, what did you get out of this experience?
so uh, I'm going to have to go with my original card that I pulled. I feel like there was some sort of a catastrophe that spurred this on, whether it was a landing or whether they were worshiping the sun god and the solstice or the eclipse came around and they thought that it went away and it was a tragedy for everybody, or there was some sort of a tragic circumstance that spurred this on. Now, do I think that they had blueprints and mapped out the blueprints before they built it? It's possible. It's possible. But would somebody live long enough in order to see the blueprint to come to fruition? Or my second most favorite hypothesis is that a ship came from another time and place and pulled these stones in this formation to leave to the community and the civilization to learn from and to grow and to expand their own knowledge and to explore. I think it was, I don't, I just, I'd like to think that it was somebody with the plans in their hand, but the ability to carry that out is so unimaginable. That's why and even if hybrids were on this earth, it's still not. It's such a monumental, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so perplexing that I would have to just uh, lean towards the latter of my
Mm-hmm.
hypothesis. But that's the easy way out, you know.
Right.
And I know that there's many different stone anomalies around the world that they've
Mhm.
proven that were levee systems and rolling and
Yeah.
logs and
Yeah. Yeah.
lifting and all of these things. I'm not disputing that that's not possible,
Right. Right.
but for some reason something happened in this spot, and for the everything to align up in the way that it did, and with
Mm-hmm.
such precision in that ley line on that space. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not protected from the weather. I mean, the weather, but it's still standing. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well,
I think we
the
have
whole
to
time
open
you're
up to.
yeah,
Mhm.
the whole time you're speaking, I'm also thinking about the pyramids. That didn't happen in one day either. That happened over the span of years. And yeah, so um Sarah says they knew how to levitate the stones with sound vibration, and the earth was a less solid condition. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know if we will ever truly know, but it's always fun to just be that fool, use our imaginations with wonder and yeah, I don't know. So we may not have found out who, how.
I, I,
um,
I think that it enhanced society. I think that it assisted them in, remember how in the beginning I said it was a curiosity, but then it became their security. And I think it enhanced the security of the civilization as they moved through their own theories. And, you know, and so something was consistent that they could rely on, that they could check on, no matter where we were in the rotation.
right. Peace, please says Archangel Michael said Merlin was involved, but not alone. um, Sarah says it was post Atlantis, which is funny because I was kind of feeling, I had mentioned a little bit earlier, but the knowledge coming from places like that. What else we see? Okay. Hello, MLR. I recall seeing videos years ago showing how all ancient sites aligned with one another and the stars. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. The pyramids,
They
they say, are aligned with um, Orion's belt. Yeah, the Big Dipper. Um, okay. Yeah. As Jean was saying, Merlin has reincarnated in so many different times. Let's see, was the Ark of Covenant actually the conductor for one of the Great Pyramids? Oh, that would be a good one for another day. Um, Interesting. Yeah, did they have something? Well, interesting enough, because I pulled this card that had a chest in it. You know, what if they had this magical stone or
Oh, that if you
whatever?
held it, you could do anything.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh! And it was such a powerful stone; it had to be encased. So
wow.
there's a theory.
Well, what's that movie with the man with all the rings, all the stones? What's that movie? It's DC Comics or
Oh
something.
yeah, the Avengers.
Yeah,
That was
something like that. That's what I'm thinking of.
Athos, the plant,
That they
Athos,
had to keep the stone
Thanos.
in that.
Thanos. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
They had to keep it separated.
Let's all watch that. We should have a movie share. I wonder if they would let us do that. Everybody hang out here and watch the same movie and I'll comment
Right.
about it. Don't
Oh,
they
that
do
would
that
be so
anymore?
fun. That would be so fun. So yeah. So
Because and yeah. So Sarah said, yeah, way before Merlin, but it was like a Merlin-like character, a
yeah,
magical man
yeah,
in that community, is what
yeah,
she meant. And
yeah,
the essence of Merlin
yeah,
has been incarnated in different times, in different
yeah,
places throughout history. There was always a character or an energy or
yeah.
um, a magical
Pretty cool.
uh, community member that would be similar. And it makes sense because we all reincarnate.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
said that the ETs left Merlin behind because they said humanity has no hope. We got to leave one of our own
Yeah.
behind.
And I end up pulling the card that was a Merlin type character. So yeah,
Hmm.
it's just the essence of Merlin.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. We know that the true
yeah.
story. I would love to get into the true story of Camelot and the boy king and oh my
Uh-huh.
gosh.
Uh-huh.
You guys, every time Ginger comes up with an investigation for us to explore and ponder and see what kind of hits we get or what our cards might tell us, it's just fun to try and see if there's a way to figure things out or a different way of looking at things. I have
Yeah.
learned a lot, and there's never, or I haven't come to a final solid conclusion, but I have more things to consider. And
Yeah.
with the knowledge that and my experience thus far in my life, um, and with the promise of ETs coming in, imminently in the next 6 to 18 months, that and the knowledge that they're already here and they've already been
Mhm.
here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
the hypothesis is not so far fetched these days.
Mm-mm.
If you asked me back in the 70s, I'd be like, no, there's no such thing. But now we have proof. Now we know. You learn, you evolve.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now we're going to be talking about um, Merlin, King Arthur, and the Sword and the Stone. I don't know. Is that pure fiction or is that a
I think we should do a mystery on that. What do you guys in chat think? Should we do a Merlin a mystery?
Everybody loves Merlin, and I have a Merlin. He's not here. He's back over in his spot. He's up over here somewhere.
Uh-huh.
I did bring him down once, but I put him back, and he could be our mascot for the show.
I have
And
a
maybe we
Merlin
could,
stone. He's over there. He's behind me.
yeah.
But yeah, they're saying yes, that would be great. Yes, yes, we got some yeses. So we'll do a exploring the mysteries on Merlin. I think that would be awesome.
I know I'm going to have to. Maybe we'll send out a little link for to a either a documentary or a movie or somebody telling the story of Merlin. And if I
Mm-hmm.
find a link, I'll let Ginger know.
Yeah.
And but it's so much fun. And Ginger, you do such an amazing um, uh, job researching,
Mm-hmm.
putting together she said there was so much information, Jean, I couldn't stop reading
There's
about it.
just, yeah.
So she was able to concisely pick up the top messages or the top information about the
Mhm.
mysteries, and to try and keep it concise so that we could fit it into the show. I mean, there's so many more questions to ask.
Right, right. I
Thank you
think
for being
actually
here.
I would like to do one more thing. Did the ley lines have anything to do with the placement of this the structure? So I mean, well, that could be a whole nother thing, but like, I mean, did the lady, was she drawn to the energies? Because we don't need to read on that, but it'd be fascinating to know if that's the energies of those ley lines were so strong that that's where they said, this is it, this is the place. So
I
just the right touch of mysticism to the Arthurian legends. Okay.
I know MLR. I know. Um,
Uh,
just uh, as a response to the question, I like, which came first, the chicken or the egg?
mhm.
Was that the right spot for Stonehenge, or was Stonehenge put there because that was the right spot? Like, did they want to demarcate the ley lines in that spot because it was such a special spot of the ley lines, or were the ley lines an indication of where to put the Stonehenge? Which was more
Yeah.
important, the ley lines or the Stonehenge? And what correlation and do ley lines have more of a meaning than just an energy source throughout, or an energy not vibration, but an energy direction it
Mhm.
on earth? There's thousands of ley lines. We have them all through
Yeah.
our own homes and our own
Yeah.
towns. But the magnitude of these ley lines, like, which came first, the ley lines, and somebody said this is the spot, or did was that the spot that was noted because of the ley lines were so impactful that they said it had to be there? Like, am I saying that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, there are up to 14 ley lines that intersect at the monument, which, wow, I can imagine my head buzzing if I went there. Um, Teeling says one woman taken aboard a ship said they are here, but were looking to the skies for a structure when the ship was taken on was made of more plasmic type of material. Okay, now we're getting into the alien thing. The water was in a different location when oh. Hmm. Okay, but this is
Wow.
true. Everything is vibrational. So there's just some that are more sensitive to it than others, like Our Lady. So, all right. Well, thank
So I
you,
think
everyone. Jean, were you going to say?
I'm just saying that the ley lines are important, but whether they
Right,
were because of or or a response to, I don't know which.
right. Hmm. Well, and on that note, I'll keep segueing. So I was once told by someone that I had a lot of, and she didn't call them ley lines, but through my home, and she called them psychic highways.
Mm.
And there was this portal in my house, and I, I forget how I was getting where it is. So, oh, she said I created a portal in my own home. And I knew exactly where she meant because it was a space that I stood every morning, raised my vibrational energy, did Reiki, did a energy ball to get me through the day. And this is where I did like all my connecting when I first began this spiritual journey. And so, like you said, the ley lines assist in the placement or the placement created the ley line. So that's a fascinating theory. Um, yeah. So maybe the stars were made by.
Yeah.
We could go on and on.
It does
So,
feel
but
like we're going backward in time. Maybe we were that advanced civilization reducing backwards. I don't know. It's amazing, you
that's
guys. But thank you all for hanging in there with us or for playing along, for offering your
um,
wisdom, especially those of you who have been there and are connected to that energy. We really appreciate all of your support and all of your patience. And it is fun. It's a way to take your mind off of things and to really just deep dive and to do a little
ponder.
psychic playing around, right?
Psychic pondering, I'll call it.
That's good. That's a good name, Psychic
Yeah.
Pondering.
So, but Jean, what do you have coming up that you can let everybody come visit you with?
I will be on tomorrow morning with Akila B. I'm
Oh,
finished for this evening. I started early. I still have a lot of work to do, but I'm finished for my lives. I'll be on with Akila B tomorrow at oh, I'm on the wrong date. No wonder my heart just dropped. I'm like, what? Tomorrow at 12 noon, I will be on with Akila Bay, and we might start early, you guys. So I'm going to ask her if she can start 15 minutes earlier. And then I have a very special members only at 4 p.m. at on
oh,
that on tomorrow. So because I know it's hard, I try and make them different times for everybody. And I'm going to come on and I'll tell you how, if you want to win a membership, you know how to do it, right? I mean, if you want to be eligible to win, you have to make sure you turn that on. And I have a little thing, I have to put it together and tell you guys, but
perfect.
I'll show you.
Love it. Yeah. And then I will be on Monday. Jackie B's coming to the channel. I have not read with her before, and months and months ago, when she started lurking in the chat, I had learned about her spiritual journey, so I invited her to come onto the show. So we're going to finally make that happen. Um, I may I have an intention to do a solo live sometime this week. Um, but I got a lot of projects around the house to do. I'm not sure. But on the Saturday the 6th at 5 p.m., Jilly, Little Zen Crone, will be on my channel, and we're going to do a Tarotnormal Investigation on her grandmother's home. She feels that a
Wow.
lot of activity. So
Wow.
for those of you who don't know about Tarotnormal Investigation, it's investigating the paranormal via tarot. So I lovingly call it Tarotnormal. So it doesn't always have to be a scary story. Paranormal isn't always malevolent. I've done some stories that with such beautiful energies have come out. I've done one with Jean. That was a fascinating story on a home, her first home she lives. So it's a wonderful, it's been a while since I've done one, but I love doing them. And so that's going to be Saturday on my channel at 5 p.m. So if you'd like to come and watch, the Paranormal is also a interaction of with the chat. So if you have oracle or tarot cards, or even just using your psychic abilities, you're welcome to come in and investigate with us. So that's a lot of the fun action too, is having the interactions of the chatters and what they come up with to investigate the energies with. So, yeah, so if you haven't subscribed to me, please do, and hit the bell so you'll know when I'm on and I'm doing, because I have a couple lined up. So I'm trying to get someone on who has some haunted dolls, but that's becoming a challenge because he likes his privacy. So I'm just trying to figure that out. So,
Ginger,
um,
can I show everybody real quick? I know it'll just take 1 second. Do you
oh
mind if I
no,
show
I'm
everybody?
good.
Can you pop this up? Thank you. And so this, you anywhere on my anywhere you can find this little join button, and you click on this join button, and this pops up, and you see these three little dots up here. It says gift membership settings. You click on gift membership settings, and you want to make sure this is toggled on. And so this is toggled on right now, and it's everybody that you are an active member, and if they give free readings, you can be eligible for free readings. And so again, you just click on this little join button, and then when you do, you'll find out about it. But up here, these three little dots up here, click on it and go to gift membership settings and make sure that it's toggled on. Thank you
Okay.
so much, Ginger. I just wanted to make sure
Oh,
everybody knew that,
it's fun.
because
Okay.
I give away memberships all the time. Every month they allow you to give away free memberships once
Oh,
a month.
nice.
Mhm.
Good. Okay. Well, Jean, thank you so much for sharing space with me and traversing the energies of Stonehenge. I had a wonderful time. I hope you did too.
I did. I love this.
Yeah, wonderful. So stay tuned. We will be trying to look at our calendars and schedule Mysteries of Merlin next. So I think that's fascinating. And again, that's by popular demand. Obviously, we had got a lot of yeses for that. So we may not have answered all the questions we had about Stonehenge, but we had fun just trickling around the energies of it. So I want to thank everyone for sharing space with us today and sending you off with Faye blessings, and have a wonderful rest of your weekend, everyone. So see you soon. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.